Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clark on YouTube. Oh no. Good evening. I've decided that my first official proclamation is that the children of the Isle of the Lost shall be given a chance to live here in Oregon. I'm auditioning for the role of the prince in Descendants, if you haven't already figured that out. And I think I would be fantastic as the Prince of Descendants. But Disney has never called me up and offered me that opportunity. But you guys can make that happen by hitting the subscribe button. I can only hope that you guys love how I narrate the Descendants franchise and have fallen in love with the content on this YouTube channel. I put my heart and soul behind everything that I create on this YouTube channel. And if you look down through the over 50 videos that I've uploaded in my archives, there is something here for everybody who ever proudly said they were a fan of either Descendants or Zombies. Because I share in the same passion as each and every one of you. A fairy tale life may be oh so overrated, but the thing about a fairy tale life is everybody has aspired or dreamed to live just that. No matter if you were a fan of Cinderella, who is the most revered Disney princess of all time. Rapunzel from the highly successful Tangled from 2010, which nobody ever thought would explode the way that it did. Perhaps you're a fan of Sleeping Beauty, the way of Dove Cameron. She was a huge fan of Sleeping Beauty. I remember Beauty and the Beast, 1756, when that story was first published as a book. And everybody believed that it would go on to achieve so much huge success, and it certainly did. Descendants was inspired because of how people wanted to recreate the classic tales of Disney's princesses in a way that had never been told before. And they succeeded in doing that. And through my passion of Disney and Descendants and Zombies, I thought I wanted to create this YouTube channel for each and every one of you who shared in that same passion, because we have been victims of criticism about Descendants and Zombies for what feels like forever, for what feels like an eternity. And I just want to put it out there that anyone who wants to criticize Descendants or Zombies does not appreciate the passion and the loyalty that comes from fans of these two amazing franchises. Two of the most highly successful franchises since High School Musical and that of Hannah Montana. That says a lot. A rating of over 6.4 for Descendants, a rating of 6.2, separating the two franchises for Zombies by just 0.2%. It goes a long way without saying that Descendants and Zombies are the most incredible and most inspiring franchises of all time. Stay calm and zombie on, they said in the Zombie franchise, is one of the opening quotes of that movie, and it became one of the most revered of all time. Songs like Rotten to the Core, This Is Going to Be My Year, Someday, are great songs that went on to inspire millions of people, if not thousands of them. They inspired us to stand up to our bullies and pushed us even further to believing what was seemingly impossible or unreachable. But I want to let everybody know something out there. No matter what your dream is, every dream is possible. All you have to do is believe in whatever that dream is. And that's what a lot of these critics who review Descendants and Zombies are trying to find. They are always trying to find the negatives to review when it comes to Descendants and Zombies. They never talk about enough positive messages that we get from Descendants or Zombies, what is conveyed in each script, because every script is different from the others. And I think this is a very different Disney Channel or Disney Plus franchise that has exploded in popularity for various reasons. One of the reasons is because it inspired so many people. The other is because of the music. And the other is because of the powerful story that was told. Now, a lot of you probably would prefer my voice as a narrator of either Descendants or Zombies because I know what's up. And I know how much each and every one of you appreciate Descendants and Zombies as much as what I do. 10 years ago, I remember that date vividly in my mind, July 31st, 2015, when Ben, of course, Mitchell Hope, made his first proclamation as the son of Beast and Belle, when he said that he was going to give the children of the Isle of the Lost the opportunity to live in Oregon in peace and achieve legacies that they will go on to be defined through. And without a shadow of a doubt, the Descendants stars, Cameron Boyce, Sophia Carson, Dove Cameron, went on to achieve their legacies because of this and went on to excel in the heights of superstardom unlike anybody ever expected them to. I was the biggest Dove Cameron fan and supporter ever since the days of Lib and Maddie. That TV series was so fun to watch. It was so entertaining. It was so very unpredictable. You didn't know what Dove Cameron was going to do from one minute to the next. Ryan McCartan and her relationship was publicized years ago. I can't say that I ever was a fan of how Ryan McCartan went on to treat Dove Cameron, because she didn't deserve it. And Dove Cameron doesn't deserve to be in some of the situations she's caught up within and embroiled within of recent years and of recent memories that I sometimes choose to forget. But she was a beautiful personality, and I never ever thought she would excel the popularity as a character Mel the way that she did. I never ever thought that Quality Control would excel the popularity the way that she did as a character Red. One of the most powerful representations of the Queen of Hearts' daughter that I have seen in recent memory that I could ever recall. She's a rebel, she's a menace, she's a one-girl ride. I believe that's one of the quotes from the Descendants movie. It was one of the opening quotes of the Descendants Rise of Red. And I think that everybody has seen a rebellious moment or time in their life that sometimes they choose to forget. Others sometimes remember it because that's what they stand out for, and that's what separates them from their peers. I think everybody's been a victim of mistakes. I've seen my fair share of mistakes. I've made more than enough that I choose not to admit on this YouTube channel, but I've made my fair share of mistakes, and I've often wished that I had a pocket watch to go back in time to correct some of my mistakes or spend some time with the ones that I love that I never got the opportunity to over the years that I had this career as a podcaster. I've been podcasting ever since the age of 13, and some of my fondest memories came from the ones that I loved that I miss dearly. And I think that if we all had a pocket watch, we'd probably go back in time and do the same thing. We probably wouldn't alter the course of history, but if we were to alter the course of history, we would do it to benefit ourselves and spend more time with the ones that we love, to correct some of the mistakes that we've made. Definitely these franchises have left images in our mind and thoughts that we probably never ever thought possible probably 10 years ago if Descendants or Zombies never ever happened. So I thank the writers and the creators for putting it out there, this very powerful message, this beautiful message to their core of how anything is possible and just to be yourself. And that's pretty much the defining message of every song off of every soundtrack for Descendants and Zombies that we have seen ever since 2015. It's been 10 years, and every single song has that very powerful message conveyed within it that everything is possible, and you should be yourself, if anything. I really appreciate how people like Sophia Carson could also take a character like Evie, the daughter of the Evil Queen, who had no backstory whatsoever. Her mother had no backstory, and the producers looked at Sophia Carson and said, what can you do to bring this character to life? And through her ability and her passion for dancing and acting, she was able to bring it to life in a way that I don't think anyone else who could have ever represented the Evil Queen's daughter the way that she did so effectively could have ever done it. And I give her all the credit in the world for taking a character with seemingly no backstory whatsoever and bringing it to life in a way that nobody else could have ever done it. Maleficent had her backstory, even Cruella de Vil, for the son of Cruella de Vil, Carlos, portrayed by Cameron Boyce. Even she had somewhat of a backstory, her cruel upbringing. Maleficent being ridiculed as one of the evil fairies after betraying seemingly Sleeping Beauty's father, their parents, and I have this thing that separates me from every other creator on YouTube, which is that I have a very deep appreciation for Disney princesses. This nostalgic feel and presence that these Disney princesses have given me will never ever leave my heart nor my mind. I was always a huge fan of Sleeping Beauty. I actually have the special edition Sleeping Beauty Platinum 2-disc DVD set, which was released in 1958. And I can be caught many a nights watching that over and over and over in my mind. I also have the 101 Dalmatian 2-disc Platinum DVD set. I've watched that 100 times over ever since I was a child. 101 Dalmatians, the story of Cruella de Vil, has had images and thoughts in my mind imprinted in it for what feels like forever. And as you've heard me say many times before on this YouTube channel, I was the biggest Snow White fan and supporter out there, no matter how much criticism the live action received and how critics just resorted to torching it. I found if there was one guy on the internet, one YouTuber who found so many positive things to say about Renee Zellweger's portrayal of Snow White, it was this guy here. And that's probably one of the reasons why I have 1,600 plus subscribers. Which, by the way, if you're not one of them, please hit the subscribe button. I would love for you to be a subscriber on this YouTube channel. I'm just as big of a fan of Descendants and Zombies if you're a first-time visitor of this YouTube channel as you are. And I support everything that you believe in. And I will continue to support everything that you believe in and have ever dreamed possible for forever. Long after Descendants and Zombies are not making any more movies, I will still be here talking about it for you because I know how much of a passion you guys have for this, whether it be learning the dances, whether it be learning the songs and the way the lyrics, whether it be how to portray your favorite character, regardless if that was Mel, regardless if it was Evie, regardless if it was Red, no matter if it's Pink coming up in the new franchise. I support you beyond belief. And I will be here for you for forever, and I will always be taking bullets for the people who love Descendants and Zombies from all these critics, because there are more critics out there than people who love the franchise. And the funny thing is, the critics have children of their own that are inspired by this franchise, but they still sit behind their microphones every night because they're getting paid to say the most cruel things about Descendants that I've ever heard in my life. And I ultimately drew the conclusion in my mind, came to that point in the road, in the path, in the woods, where I said that you guys deserve better in the way of reviews. And that's what I'm attempting to give you. I don't know if I'm doing it or not, but I'm attempting to do that for you. So you will hit the subscribe button, you will like this YouTube channel, and you will think the guy hosting this show is cool. I'm really up to date on pop culture. I'm really up to date on what's happening with Descendants and Zombies. If there's one guy out there that knows what's up, it's this guy right here. I've read all the books about the fairy tale princesses. I've been a fan of the original Disney princess lineup for forever, which consisted of Snow White, even Tinkerbell, who's getting her own remake. According to what I've been reading, Reese Witherspoon is going to have something to do with that. I'm really excited about that, although it probably will receive its fair share of criticism. But seeing Reese Witherspoon as the voice of Tinkerbell from the original Disney princess lineup would be great. There's also been teasings of how Sophia Carson is going to be Esmeralda from The Hunchback of Notre Dame in the upcoming Hunchback of Notre Dame remake. So there's a lot to look forward to, and I would go for a Hunchback of Notre Dame remake. Of course, the original Hunchback of Notre Dame, I believe, dropped in 1996. That would have been the same year, to take you back, that the Backstreet Boys released their debut album, their premiere album, on May 6, 1996. A lot of stuff happened in the mid-90s. Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, NSYNC were at the heights of their popularity too. Super Nintendo was the greatest video game system of all time. Toy Story was one of the most revered Disney animated computer classics of all time, the first of its kind, and went on to inspire many movies. I had so much fun growing up watching this stuff and seeing them turn into live actions now, despite all the criticism they may be receiving. I love it so much. I also love the music in Descendants. That's one of the biggest reasons why I was such a huge fan of it and very quickly fell in love with the franchise. Songs like Rotten to the Core, which was the premiere single, which gave us an introduction to Mal, Evie, and Carlos, who we all miss dearly. And then we went from that to hearing songs like Chillin' Like a Villain, Ways to Be Wicked, which was a beautiful way to open up Descendants 2 by 2017. And I can't forget to say thank you to Kenny Ortega. I will say thank you to Kenny Ortega from now until the end of my lifetime, because of just how powerful of a message he was able to convey through being the director and the inspiration behind Descendants, which originally was sketched to be a action adventure and then became an action adventure musical, which beautifully lit it up. And the personalities of the characters were second to none. I mean, the chemistry we saw between Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson, I don't think we've ever seen chemistry like that ever before and ever will again. I know that the chemistry between Kylie Cantrell and Mila Baker was second to none, but when you compare the chemistry between Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson to that of Kylie Cantrell and Mila Baker, who had less acting experience, I think that Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson's chemistry and their friendship, because of their friendship not only on screen but off of screen, really blew this one up, and I think a lot of people cherish that for forever. I think the original Descendants trilogy will forever be cherished because of that amazing message and that amazing chemistry that we saw on that. Forever cherished without a doubt. Biggest Descendants fan in the world. I think sometimes I think to myself, am I really that big of a Descendants fan? And then I hear myself quoting the movie, and I see myself watching the movie over and over and over again. Just the other night, I think I watched the original trilogy for what felt like the 1,000th time in the last 10 years. And the cool thing is, 10 years after the anniversary of Descendants, the original cast are still being asked about their memories of Cameron Boyce, their memories of being on set for Descendants, and they still cherish it just as much as they did when it first premiered within the first 1 to 2 years of the movie, because the PR it received was incredible. I just wish we didn't see as much criticism about Descendants and Zombies as what we're seeing now. I mean, I remember when the Place to Be music video was released about a week and a half ago, and everybody just immediately jumped down to the throats of the producers of this music video. Why can't we just give it a chance and see what happens? Why can't we just give it time? I mean, Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires has yet to premiere, and we're already hearing so much criticism that we don't need to be hearing. It's completely unnecessary. There are millions of fans of Zombies. Over 250 million hours of stream time have been seen on Disney Plus and Disney Channel. 781 million hours of stream time have been seen on Disney Plus and Disney Channel for Descendants, no matter what installment or aspect of Descendants you're talking about. And we've seen so much criticism also for the music for Descendants: The Rise of Red, but the way I choose to look at it is it's the first Descendants movie to present a whole new feel for the music, and the first to do it of its kind to present a Hannah Montana camp rock kind of feel since at least 2010. Beautiful songs in this one. Life is Sweeter When You Are. I'm going to miss Ruby Rose Turner incredibly. Beyond your imagination, I'm missing Ruby Rose Turner. I think I'm crying myself to sleep every single night now that Ruby Rose Turner has been dropped from the Descendants franchise, of course, having to do with the altering of time and the consequences of time travel. Of course, she portrayed the young Queen of Hearts, Bridget, and she was just there to pretty much explain why the evil queen turned out the way that she did, but that does not mean we won't see her by Descendants 6. You know, Descendants 6 is too far away, and another tour is potentially too far away from me because I want to get more out of Ruby Rose Turner. I was hoping we were going to see more of her character from Descendants: The Rise of Red. You can bring in Pink as many times as you want. These new cast members, sons of Robin Hood, sons of, I believe, Smee from Peter Pan, or twins of Smee are going to be involved in this one. You can bring as many replacements as you want. Nobody's ever going to replace or do it the way that Ruby Rose Turner did. Obviously, Pink will have her own introductory song because that's the whole point of these Disney Channel original movies, or movies specifically for Disney Plus. But the thing about Life is Sweeter When You Are is it was such a bubblegum kind of song, and it really made you believe that everything was possible, no matter how unachievable a dream may have been. All you needed was a pinch of sugar and positivity, and you could get anything out of life. And I really appreciated the message of that song. And they said, when they created that song, that it was going to be a song that was going to be stuck in your mind for forever. And I'm going to let you in a little secret. Me and some of my friends are caught listening to that song all the time, and we're a bunch of guys. So can you imagine a bunch of guys sitting around with this song stuck in your head? I mean, I play that every day on my Bluetooth speaker, for God's sake. And I don't regret doing it. I don't regret being a fan of Descendants just as much as each and every one of you are, because I realize how much appreciation and how much you have honored the Descendants franchise for what feels like forever, an eternity. Beyond every galaxy, you guys have honored Descendants, and it blows my mind every single time. It literally blows my mind. It is freaking insane how many people I have subscribed to this YouTube channel who are here because of Descendants and Zombies. And because I know you're here because of Descendants and Zombies, I'm not going to let you down. And I'm going to be here every single time I get an opportunity to upload a video on Descendants and Zombies, because you guys deserve it. You guys deserve the best when it comes to commentaries. You don't deserve to hear criticism about your favorite stars, because you're inspired by those stars. And I wish more critics out there who were reviewing Descendants would just stop it and cease production. I just wish they would stop it, to be very blunt. Because the age demographic of Descendants ranges anywhere from 6 to 15 years of age and beyond. I mean, there are older people who are fans of Descendants too, who have fallen in love with this franchise. But the average is between 6 to 15. And the way that they are criticizing these movies is ridiculous. It's utterly repulsive, is the only word that I can use to describe the criticism that either Descendants or Zombies have received. And then you have the stars also on the other side of the spectrum talking about their personal struggles with anxiety and peer pressure and being bullied. And I have a lot of respect for them. I have a lot of respect for someone like Meg Donnelly, who was just turned down for the role of Supergirl. That was taken by Millie Alcott. I just want to say this. Meg Donnelly will have more opportunities in her lifetime, and just because one door is closed doesn't mean another one won't open. And my heart is with Meg Donnelly forever and always, because I was a huge fan of Meg Donnelly ever since shows like American Housewife, The Winchesters, and now Zombies. Stay calm and zombie on. Is the only bit of advice I can give to Meg Donnelly, but she is an incredible actress who could have easily portrayed Supergirl. If someone like Melissa Benoist for the original Supergirl TV series can get it done, Who's to say Meg Donnelly couldn't? I think we should have given Meg Donnelly more of an opportunity. Meg Donnelly could portray anybody. Princess Peach in the Super Mario Super Animation. She could have done that. But I think that there was somebody out there to portray Supergirl. Second to Millie Alcott, it would have been her. When I first heard about Millie Alcott taking that away from Meg Donnelly, I was heartbroken because I didn't know who Millie Alcott was. For the life of me, I didn't know who she was, but I knew who Meg Donnelly was. But then again, you think about how these stars achieve success. They are stars because of Disney. They're not stars because of being Supergirl in a DC movie that they don't know anything about. And many of these stars that, are casted for Supergirl and stuff have to do a lot of research because they're not inspired by that. They came from a certain niche, and of course, obviously, Meg Donnelly's niche and Dove Cameron's niche is Disney, and that's why we don't see many opportunities given to them outside of it. But that does not mean that they shouldn't be rewarded those opportunities. And that's coming from somebody who was the biggest DC and Marvel fan in the universe, in the entire galaxy. I was the biggest Marvel fan. When many of you checked out of the Marvel universe, I checked in because I thought that Batman was so cool, how a guy who would just be a detective with no superpowers whatsoever, who nobody knew anything about or any explanation behind him, could have been so cool. From driving a Batcar, how Spider-Man could swing from out of nowhere and save all of our lives. I'm still waiting for the day for Spider-Man to swing from out of nowhere and save my life. And you're thinking to yourself, hey, Jonathan Clark, you think superheroes are real, don't you? Sure, I think superheroes are real. Do I think that Happily Ever After exists? Sure, I do. I've never, ever wanted to take that away from anybody. If there's one thing I want to instill in anybody's mind is that forever is possible and it does exist. And I don't ever want you to never believe that. No matter what anybody tells you every single day of your life, forever does indeed exist, ladies and gentlemen. All you have to do is to hold on to that belief and believe in it, because believe you me, the possibilities are endless for somebody who believes that forever does exist and a fairy tale lifestyle can be achieved. Even though Sophia Carson has told us for forever that it seems so overrated and seems unachievable, but it does. It is very real. It is very real no matter what anybody tells you. And I know there are people out there also bullies of victims, victims of bullies because of their insecurities they may be battling with every single day. You're not alone. Because there are so many people out there that will never admit to their struggles with bullying and anxiety, and it's just amazing how these stars on the other side of the spectrum are going out of their way to tell us about their personal struggles and stuff, and at the end of the day I think I have more respect for them than I've ever had. I could be one of those guys that could sit here and choose to criticize Descendants and Zombies, but I'm not. I'm the one who chooses to take bullets for each and every one of you because I know how much these franchises mean to you, and I know that a lot of people out there don't really understand what criticism can do to a person. It can really tear you up from the inside and really tear you down. And when I hear people like Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson and Kylie Cantrell receiving so much criticism, more recently Meg Donnelly because of her battle with anxiety and panic attacks, and her mother's struggle with breast cancer, I can kind of relate to Meg Donnelly because my mom had suffered with breast cancer multiple times in her life, and then my sister came down with breast cancer not once but twice. It was a very difficult time for all of us, but we got through it because, I realized that family is probably one of the most important things in the world, and whoever loves you in this life, no matter who loves you in this life or claims that they do, your family is always there to support you. So as long as you've got your family and a couple of really good friends, you don't need 1,000. You can get through anything in this life. And I think the more kindness that we spread in this lifetime, I think that the more love that we share with one another, it makes this world so much more of a beautiful place. Because I've always said that it's not the world, it's just the people in this world that make it miserable. And that's generally what the Disney villains were portrayed as, these miserable beings that didn't want to see anyone be happy. And now, over the course of the last 15 years, Disney villains are more appreciated through their utilization, through the power of script, and just their illustration, which we didn't get 15 years ago because Disney villains were just seemed to be miserable people. But now we're seeing them come out with backstories, with more of an explanation. We're getting it from movies like Cruella and Maleficent. So I think it's really cool, this whole new metamorphosis that Disney has come into. I'm really excited to see where it goes from here. I love how Disney has now introduced zombies as part of their sci-fi theme. they've come into ever since the acquisition of Marvel. Again, many of you may have checked out of the Marvel Universe, but I checked in. Many of you believe, and I kind of concur with that. There probably shouldn't be more than one Spider-Man, more than one Captain America, more than one Incredible Hulk. But I really like the multiverse stuff, and a lot of people will say, Captain America is no Steve Rogers now, and certainly he's not. Some of the portrayals of the live-action princesses, and Belle, and Sleeping Beauty, certainly they're not what you remember from the animated classics, but they are to be respected. I know that Rachel Zellweger received a lot of heat from a lot of people and was torched because of her beliefs. I wasn't the biggest Renee Zellweger fan out there, let me just say that. But everybody who portrayed a Disney princess in a live action did the best they could to bring that character to life. And even though we hate Renee Zellweger, we got to appreciate her at some point or another too. I will forever be a fan of this stuff, and I will never ever quit on it. I am one of the greatest of all time, not because I choose to sit behind this microphone and talk about Disney and Descendants and zombies and pop culture. I am the greatest of all time because of each and every one of you who wanted a hero. I am one of the greatest of all time who, a lot of you probably enjoy my narrative thoughts on Descendants and zombies, and if you do, thank you so much. I don't deserve over 1,700 subscribers on this YouTube channel, but I have them because we share in the same passion, and you get lost on YouTube every single day looking up Descendants and zombies. I mean, let's face reality. The reality of it is Descendants and zombies is some of the most searched franchises in Disney's history. Nobody will ever exceed the excitement that Descendants and zombies has left in our hearts for forever. I don't think there will ever be another franchise that will be as successful as this and exceed the critical reviews that it has been victimized by for forever. I mean, Descendants has also seen its fair share of criticism, but I choose to ignore it. And let me give you a piece of advice. If you're hearing a lot of criticism of Descendants and zombies, the best way to deal with criticism is come to the realization that it's just stupidity. It is stupid remarks that people are leaving on forums, on social media platforms, in the way of videos, in the way of written columns. You just have to learn to ignore it. And here's how I choose to look at it. If you're a fan of Dove Cameron, more power to you. If you're a fan of Kylie Cantrell, that song Goodie Bag is really, really catchy. I've loved Kylie Cantrell ever since she was Jasmine on Raven's Home. I've loved Kylie Cantrell ever since she was 12 years old. I remember watching her YouTube show and how much dedication she had to it. She was a very dedicated YouTube uploader. I was one of the first subscribers to her show. She doesn't even know who I am, but I was one of the first subscribers to her show, and I loved watching her show. I'd watch Kylie Cantrell, Hello Kylie on YouTube, and I loved it. I love Kylie's new music. I love Meg Donnelly's new music, how she's recording it independently. She deserves mad respect for that because it's very hard to record an independent album. For those of you who don't know, when you record an album independently, you're recording your whole presentation the way that you want to be perceived, and you have no management company behind you. You probably have one or two people helping you, but that's all you've got. So to make that choice to go into independent recording is a huge gamble for Meg Donnelly to take, but she's doing it because she knows she has all of you supporting her, and she's got me too. So as long as we have each other, being fans of Descendants and zombies, we may be facing 15 million critics out there, if not 500 million critics. But at least we know we have each other, and I just want you guys to know that if you want to hear something nice about Descendants and zombies, you have come to the right place, and you have found the right guy. I will never ever go away, and I will never ever let you down about Descendants and Zombies content because I share the same passion as each and every one of you. And while people will tell you forever in a lifetime that a fairy tale life seems so overrated, and you're not evil by looking into your eyes like some of the quotes from Descendants may imply, the thing is, everybody deserves a chance. Everybody deserves a bit of kindness in their life, and we see people every single day who don't get enough kindness in their life, who are just waiting for you to say something nice to them. So I just want to encourage everybody that if you haven't said anything nice to somebody in a long time, just tap that person on the school bus that you sit behind every day or in front of your class and say something nice to them, because you don't know how much that could impact somebody and change their life and their outlook on their opinion of themselves. Take it from somebody who knows and has experienced it. This has been the most fun that I've had in forever, and I've been podcasting for a very long time in my parents' basement and where I've lived for forever. I think this is one of the first shows that I've actually been able to broadcast it in my own bedroom, because I used to have to broadcast it in my basement in my parents' house. when I was 13 years old. So it's really cool to have this setup. It's really cool to share in the same passion as each and every one of you do. And I'm hoping that you're going to think this YouTube channel is cool and the guy hosting it is really nice. And you're going to hit the subscribe button and you're going to help me boost up the morality of this YouTube channel and its popularity. Because the more people that hit that subscribe button, the further out this YouTube channel will be pushed into the algorithm. And we're going to make a lot of people happy. And it's such an honor to be here with each and every one of you. Let me just say that. While other critics will not tell you this over their podcast, I want to let you guys know that it's such an honor to create this video commentary for you. It's such an honor to create these commentaries for you and to touch your hearts in so many unbelievable and unspeakable and unimaginable ways. There is no place I would rather be in the world than right here tonight with each and every one of you sharing in that same passion. And it's just a tremendous honor of mine. I've got some Descendants footage here to watch, so what do you say we watch this together? It's a very brief clip, but it's so much fun being able to create this stuff for you. If you have not hit the subscribe button, please keep believing in forever. And what do you say we watch this footage together?
Or gift receiver?
That's a good question.
That's a really good question.
I feel like I'm actually a pretty good gift giver.
You are a good gift giver. You are a good gift giver.
There we go.
She's a good gift giver. I feel like we're good at giving like the thoughtful gifts
Very
versus like,
sentimental.
do you want like a Tiffany bracelet right now? I mean
Cartier,
that
you
never.
always wanted
We
one,
always
yeah.
wanted that too. But there's something about like. I remember you talking about this when you were 5 years old and you never got to have that on Christmas. So here
Remember
you
your
go.
childhood toy from childhood? I found it.
Are you a
As I've told you, this is such an honor. And if you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, I would be really happy if you did. I'm going to let you in a little secret. I love when I see the subscribers going up on this YouTube channel because it means that someone shares in the same passion that we all have that have previously subscribed to this YouTube channel, and myself included. I will always have something good to say in the way of a review for Descendants or Zombies. I think it is really cool how humans can live with zombies in a world that seems so unrealistic on times. I think it is really cool how Descendants has really driven home the point that a fairy tale lifestyle is either achievable or does exist. Let me put it to you this way. Happily Ever After does exist, no matter how many times you are told that it doesn't. And if there's one thing I want you to run away with from this YouTube channel, it is just that Happily Ever After and a fairy tale lifestyle do exist. And everybody deserves to be loved. And there is never enough kindness that can be spread in this world. So what do you say we all go do just that? Because I'm telling you, there is somebody in your life right now who's just waiting for that little bit of kindness that they may not have received today or have gotten. They're waiting for it, and you're the one who can give it to them and make such a significant impact on all their lives and leave a forever imprint on all their hearts, just as you've done for me. Let me put it to you this way. I thought I was done 7 years ago, but you guys brought me back from seemingly obscurity. You brought me back when I thought all hope was lost, and I can never thank you enough for that. When I hung up my headset 7 years ago and thought I had recorded my final podcast and had my last hurrah. I have had the most fun that any podcaster out there could have ever had, touching all of your lives and the lives of so many families who watch these videos. And it is a tremendous honor, if anything, for me to be able to come into your life and share in the same passions that all of you do. So if you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, please go out of your way to do that and help this YouTube channel out. It's been an honor having you here, and it's been an honor creating these videos for you, which I can only hope that you love, because I just upload the videos. I don't promote them. I go away and I come back and I check my subscribers throughout the day. Some videos get 50 views, some videos get up to 500, even 1,000 sometimes. And even if they don't, I say the next video I'll do better, and we'll get higher numbers, we'll get more subscribers. But that comes down to you, because this is what this YouTube channel is about. It's about you, the person watching it, and the person who believes in this content enough that they will hit that subscribe button. Because a lot of people out there will take advantage of you, and they will promise you content that they never ever upload just because they want to achieve monetization and hit the subscribe button. I share the same passions as each and every one of you, whether that be Disney princesses, whether that be animation, whether that be Descendants and Zombies. I think it's really cool, like I just said, how zombies and humans can coexist in a lifestyle that seems so unachievable, or a fairy tale lifestyle can exist for forever. Because believe you me, happily ever after does exist. All you have to do is be that person who chooses to believe in it, make a difference and a significant impact in someone else's life, because you never know what difference you could possibly make. I know we've all been victims of our own mistakes that we wish we had time to go back in time and correct, but that doesn't mean we're bad people. We're all good in our own way, and it's just an honor being here with each and every one of you. So what do you say we take this opportunity to go spread some kindness in someone's life who needs it? Bye, YouTube. We will do it again in a couple of days. Thank you guys so much for joining me once again.